Hey guys, I am here with my dad at his house in Pennsylvania, introducing a new water filtration product about which I'm super excited because it is coming home with me to solve the problem of how to get filtered good, clean water in Brooklyn where I live. And I'm going to let my dad explain to you why it's so cool.
So if you followed us with water filtration at all, you notice we always recommend an under-counter or countertop filtration system that if it's under counter, it means that you have to drill a hole. Not everybody can drill a hole. A lot of people like Maya rent and their landlord will not let them put a hole in the countertop. And the countertop version of that where you attach it to your faucet doesn't work because most people have a modern type of faucet that doesn't have the typical aerator where you can hook it up. So we've always said we don't know what to tell the rest of you. They've asked about Brita, they've asked about Berkey, things like that. And I'm not a big fan of those. They don't do a great job with filtration. They're better than nothing. This is called the ZIP Zero Install Purifier. It is a reverse osmosis purifier. I'm typically not a fan of reverse osmosis because it wastes like 5 times the water that it makes. This one does not, and the water that is left over at the end can be used for other purposes like watering plants and things like that. So anyhow, this one is real simple. It has a chamber for water that you fill up. Now I've pre-filled it here. You can see it sloshing around. Up to max, you push that in. You can just put that in your sink and fill it up. I just plug that in like that. You're going to see the blue light come on. And what happens is it just starts instantly putting it through. It has an internal pump, sends it through. It's very quiet. I can hear nothing, but it is working.
Silent.
But it filters water, and the filtered water comes up into here, into this top chamber. And once the water, we did a little bit of it already just to see, but once the water is in here, you can press that and start filling up a glass or a container that you can put in the refrigerator or something along those lines. It solves a big problem that people have had. The technology has finally caught up with the times. Reverse osmosis makes incredibly clear, clean water.
And the only other thing I wanted to ask was, for our readers and customers that have both options available to them, you know, they could get the under counter or they could do this, other than the fact that, you know, this takes up some space on a counter, which ultimately is the better choice?
This makes slightly cleaner water than what we have.
That's a carbon block.
It's a carbon block and a couple of other technologies that I have underneath this sink. But the carbon block does an amazing job, and it does almost what a reverse osmosis can do. But if you want the cleanest water, there are people in Southern California who have radioactive things in their water. You do need reverse osmosis for that.
That's not going to do radioactivity.
It takes out some of it, but not all of it. This reverse osmosis is the way to go if you have something like that. Or if you have a countertop that you can't do any other thing with, this is a great solution for a home water filtration system.
So this is always better, or what? I guess I'm asking, is there a potential downside? Is there a situation where that is better than this?
Not really.
Okay.
The only difference is 100% of the water that comes out of this one is usable.
Right.
Some of this has some wastewater, but again, we have enough plants in here that we just use it on plants and things like that, and it's fine.
Okay.
So the ZIP Zero Install Purifier.
And I'm going to be using this after I leave here, and I will continue to share what I think about it. Oh, I want to mention one thing that I already talked to my dad, but I want to say it on camera. The plastic situation. I know this looks like a lot of plastic. I was sniffing it as he was pulling it out. It is odorless, it is BPA free, it is phthalate free, etc. However, there is no plastic free solution. There's no hot water in here, so
every filter I have ever looked at has plastic parts.
Plastic, including the under counter, they're all plastic.
Plastic tubing, plastic parts, and they do it the best they can to keep plastics out there.
But so, right, until someone comes up with a stainless steel one, we're stuck with a little plastic. To me, the benefits greatly outweigh any risk of the plastic parts. So for now, I want to make sure that the water is being filtered of all the bad stuff. You can read more about water filters all over our website, what exactly the different technologies do, what exactly they're taking out, and what exactly they're leaving in. And in the meanwhile, feel free to post below with any questions. My dad will be sure to get back to you guys.
Yep.